The forge has gone quiet, the bellows blow no more. The forge has gone quiet, the smiths have gone home. Only fading embers remain, and my hearth grows cold. One kiss from you to rekindle it all.
Okay, and we're back for episode 8 of Queen of Embers. We just left off as Terwin and Banneker witnessed a local fellow preaching on top of a barrel of gunpowder with a torch, talking about some group called the 13. Meanwhile, back in Founders Square, Elisa has uncovered a little bit of information about the stench. And in the gut bucket, Warren and Harper have learned a little bit more about the local gong farmers. Mm-hmm. Some time passes while you're here, and then the witching hour comes. And you hear the striking of the bells throughout the city. Because they only strike at the witching hour. Distant toiling of the bells. It's dark. All the workers kind of pause for a moment. There's kind of almost this kind of collective look toward the sky, collective look toward the Leviathan's eye that still burns bright blue above. Even beyond the low air, you can see that pale blue orb burning so bright. The bells stop their tolling, and people kind of are lost for a moment, almost perhaps. They kind of come back to themselves, the smell kind of assaulting their nostrils and such, and they continue about their work. You all have been here long enough at this point to probably have maybe been impacted by, as Elisa has discovered, the reek. We won't roll anything yet, but we'll assume toward the witching hour, that almost becomes like an audible cue for you to kind of reconvene once again back in Founders Square to talk and discuss. To share what you have found. Elisa is the first to come.
I'm alone at this point, or everybody's there?
Everybody's there. You're the first to kind of step amid the group. I'm sorry.
That's fine. So the only thing I've really found is that apparently the people around here call this the Reek.
Right.
The title for it, and apparently it started yesterday. They've all said.
That's what we heard too.
Right.
Started yesterday, huh?
That's what they've said.
As I'm looking over this pamphlet, and you, after a while, you realize it's upside down.
Boss. There you go.
Did I see that?
That doesn't look any better.
Well, this is what we found out.
He hands it over to Lisa.
Does it have any words?
It does. It says, join the 13. Join the revolution. Rally behind the prophet as he liberates the workers from their ghastly working conditions and breaks the chains of the crown that binds us all.
The crown that binds us all.
Yeah, I believe you would mean the king.
I would assume.
This ghastly, though, does that not strike a tone here with what we're smelling? The reek, ghastly conditions.
Right.
Ghastly. Sorry. G-H-A-S-T-L-Y.
Oh, I thought you said. I thought it was like a play on words.
No.
I thought it was a play on words.
Maybe.
Sorry. Because I thought it was ghastly. Like
It does say ghastly. Yes.
Right.
It is a strange choice of adjective.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, I mean, it seems unique. What was the first part again?
It says, join the 13. Join the revolution. Rally behind the prophet as he liberates the workers from their ghastly working conditions and breaks the chains of the crown that binds us all.
All right, and these fools were standing around, and wisingly so, they're standing on top of a pyre barrel with a torch.
Very nervous the whole time.
I was quite nervous. I'm not going to say, but the gentleman on
fire shot? barrel?
I don't know. It was
It's possible it was a prop, to be honest.
it could have been a prop because of
Well, how heavy was it when they tried to move it? Did it take a few of them or one of them?
They rolled it with ease.
They rolled it with ease. So.
Well, then it probably wasn't full.
Well, let me describe these crazies for you too.
All right.
Profit.
Well, they called the guy that was standing on top of the torch. They called him Sam.
Well, we can always ask about him.
Well, and he had and it looked like he was basically, to me, I don't know about you, it looked like he was kind of reciting something.
Well,
He was basically reciting this. Well, he finished that. That's how he finished his sermon.
you say
Those
they
exact
scrammed
words.
when Brigantine showed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can always go talk to the Brigantine. If they're on them. They might know something.
You know, remember, and they also had, you know,
Right,
Yeah,
a
he
pretty
had the
distinguishing mark.
He had the number 13.
All of
written-
them,
written
or,
on his.
or just the one.
I only noticed it on the one, but
I only noticed it on Sam, but
Sam.
they were calling people brother, and you know, the normal crackpot stuff that goes with religions.
They didn't seem particularly smelly.
Boss?
well, I mean, they didn't smell good, no. But
Well, I'm just saying, if you're
They-
thinking they're the ones that's causing it,
Uh,
they'd be
you
more,
know,
more
just-
smelly than anyone else.
no, they didn't smell of the reek, or at least I didn't notice.
I don't know. Many
Again,
people go
you know,
around
I'm not-
smelling other people.
I just don't think it's that bad out there, guys.
Well, we've been directed to find out where it's coming from.
Well,
we learned about this.
Night
was it?
Soil Collective?
Soil Collective. Awfully highfalutin name for
might be the wrong horse to
shit
chase
collectors,
after,
but
but can't hurt to talk to them since everyone seems to think they might have something to know about it.
The innkeep here said the same thing last night. If you don't remember.
You can
Alright.
talk to them, but I think people are just finding the lowest hanging fruit to possibly blame with that one.
Right.
Go and have a talk. Don't go.
Flinging it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, don't go and have a blame.
It's up to you.
I mean, do we really? Can I just be frank?
I prefer you stay Banneker.
Oh yeah. Can I be? You know, it's just. What does it smell like?
You seriously don't smell it.
well, he's asking for a description.
Yeah.
Slightly.
I mean, what do you guys think it smells like? Is what I mean.
Well, not quite like anything else I've had smelled before. A bit of sulfur and something else.
It doesn't smell like human shit.
Huh?
No.
No.
It doesn't smell like Matthew's droppings.
Right.
Smells like magic.
It smells like what?
Magic.
Magic has a smell.
Well, yeah, didn't your mother tell you?
No.
Yeah. Whenever you smell, sulfur, it's an old saying. You know, it's just like, oh, there's magic in the air.
Yeah, I heard that.
Can't
What?
say as I've heard that one now.
And
I
remember a few years back, an old druid came through the village and lit up a whole ruckus, and there was a stench kind of like this. You know, I kind of see what you're coming from. It could have been something
Why don't we
evil.
table that?
my grandmother Rhiannon, she'd talk about if you ever smell a gun and none was fired, then there's a witch about.
Yeah, you know.
We are in an area that makes pyre,
Yeah.
which is the smell made by a gun. We do realize that, yes?
All smells like magic to me.
Right.
I think maybe you're onto something, boss, but maybe we should focus on the two things that we do know.
Oh no, I wasn't saying we go chasing after magic. You just asked what it smelled like, and that's what it smells like.
It smells like magic.
Oh, alright.
I'm not saying it's
Well, we
magic.
had a lot of funny things going on the night before.
Yeah, I mean,
What with the moon and the stars and the lights going out and every other thing. I'm just saying.
And
Well,
It could have been a magic.
Alright,
It could be
well,
a magic
it's,
thing.
It's old
We have-
wives' tales. That's
we,
all I'm
we
saying.
have a couple leads, right? We got the Night Soil Collective. We got these 13.
Which can we just be frank? Yeah, or we'll be whoever you want to speak, boss.
I was giving you
Banneker.
shit.
you know, I'm still Banneker, but
Yeah.
you know, why don't we say this? It doesn't smell like human shit. It bloody don't smell like horse droppings. You know what all other chattel smells like. It's
Right.
roughly the same. So why would the Dun Collectors even have anything to do with this?
Because they're the ones that go everywhere.
All right.
I do believe the 13 are more of a lead, but
If they're picking up shit, they got the smell of everywhere.
Right, and
They
so
might be able to give us a lead.
actually, you know what? They might be the best to snuff it out because if they's used to smelling shit,
They can tell the
they can
fine
tell the difference.
differences.
Because they don't smell it no more, then they smell what this is, and maybe they've got the best nose for it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, it's an option, or there's the option that they can't smell, which is why they went into that career in the first place. But up to you.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, people that are smell deficient can, you know, live common lives and other lives. You know.
There's merits to everything.
Well,
I
make a
say
call.
instead of discussing.
Right, so
Good evening, good folk. You hear kind of call from across the Founders Square. A group of people, two in fact, are approaching. Both are kind of head to toe wearing this kind of carapace-like black brigandine that stresses with every movement they make. The leather cold in the night, and they wear bucket helmets atop their pate. They are armed with mortuary swords at their waist.
Mm.
good evening.
Beg our pardon, but you don't look like you're from around here.
oh, well, we can give you pardon then.
One of them's holding a swagger stick, like a military crop.
Name's Terwin Forster. Here with the Dufresne Agency. We've spoken with
Lieutenant Wright.
With Dufresne, he
Yeah.
says.
Lieutenant Wright.
yeah, we've spoken with Lieutenant Wright.
Oh yes, you must be Terwin Forrester. One of them says.
Right. He just named himself. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
him. Terwin Forrester, Harbor Claviger.
Oh, do you need my name also, sir?
We have your names.
Great.
Excellent.
All right,
Then I have something to discuss. These 13.
Now hold on, he says as he kind of takes a couple steps forward. I'll be the one asking the questions.
No, I actually.
No, just let him have his moment.
Oh, big fish. Big fish.
He kind of gives you a crass-looking smile. What are you doing poking your noses around Founders Square? I saw you in the crowd earlier, the two of you take a pamphlet.
Yeah,
That's why I'm inquiring.
see, we was actually going to be on our way to talk to Brigandine about the 13 because we
And that's
thought
why
that they
I
was.
asked.
Yeah, we thought that this may not be the most elfy of things to have for the city.
Well, Leviathan's Eye. What fortune that we should meet here together.
Ah, good.
Yeah, again. So, have you had any run-ins with these crazies?
He kind of, like he's urging his hand. He's handing his hand. He's holding his hand out for the pamphlet.
Elisa hands it to him.
Yes, the 13. This prophet. Bunch of nonsense. He tears it up into fourths and then the ace and throws it on the ground.
Right.
Nothing you need to concern yourselves with. Just a bunch of rabble-rousers trying to make trouble for the guilds.
So, what was your name?
You can call me sir.
So what?
What's your badge number?
He smiles. Badge number? What do you think this is, Bellegane?
Well, you don't got a copper?
Well, yes, I am from there.
I'm Sir Leland. You may call me that.
I look at his boots. Does he have spurs?
He does have spurs indeed.
Oh.
So, Sir Leland, you do understand, and it's just, if you know, maybe some friendly advice from law officer to law officer. The quickest way to start and continue people to follow this is too oppressive. But you do you, because obviously, since we've seen this working so well for you, it does seem to be. Since it looks like there's more people. Is there more people every night? So oppressing one thing is generally the best way to promote it. Just to let you know, it's law officer to law
Is that
officer.
how it was done in Belligane?
I don't know. Again, my father was in Parliament, not in.
Oh
He
well.
was not part of this legal thing that I've taken upon.
Well, let me tell you something, citizen.
Law
Given
officer
that-
to law officer, I believe.
Yes, I'm certain that's how you would like to pitch it. But you're in Durendal, friend, not Belligane. You're east of the river.
Yes, yeah. The Dufresne Agency is the, I believe, the king is.
Empowered by the king, I believe is the term.
Yeah,
You
that's it.
see a throne with a king here?
I see a baroness.
That's about as close as it's going to get.
Who was empowered by the king and got her title that way.
You can continue on with this as you like.
Well,
I'm simply telling you.
Well, that's what lineage is.
Well, gentlemen, there's no need to start an argument here. We're both on the same side. We want to make sure that peace is kept in this place, yes?
Well, I think that you are seeing it from the wrong angle.
No.
You
We're not
are
outside, is what he's saying.
poking your nose in business that you don't have any business to be in. I don't care if you serve the king or the fucking steward himself.
But we're actually here upon somebody that you might know his name.
You're talking about Master Hexenstone.
He's the one who sent us here.
Oh yes, that old codger, that occultist, that looks to the stars for answers. Yes, yeah, his name doesn't mean spit around here.
I hear he's rather beloved by the Baroness.
Fantastic. You're in Founders Square. This is our territory. Don't be drawing swords or killing anybody in the middle of the street or thrusting your blade where it doesn't belong. If I hear of any inkling of violence in Founders Square, I'll have you all in chains and drag you outside the city by your ears.
Sir Leland, please, for the moment, if you happen to look, and she's wearing her fashionable clothes and she has her walking cane and she just looks at him and she goes, exactly what am I going to pull? I'm walking through this place and I understand that you're trying to state your place in this, and I appreciate your authority. However, I do think you are, to borrow a colloquialism, barking up the wrong tree.
Go ahead and make a hard charm test.
Okay.
Difficult to convince him.
I failed that, shaken not stirred.
Reroll.
However, a 22 will do it.
Grit.
Elisa? Is that
Yes,
right, madam?
Elisa Marius. Yes, that would be the name.
Oh. He kind of pauses for a moment.
Yes,
Cole Marius's daughter?
I have been called that.
Pardon, madam. I did not know.
It's fine. Sometimes the name pushes things, and sometimes it's in the way. But maybe, just maybe, I understand your authority here, sir. But maybe you remember the fucking name, please.
Just trying to keep the peace.
Thank you.
Look. Reich told all of Brigandine to keep an eye out for Terwin Forrester. Some violence went down the other night. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't need to know the ins and outs. All I'm saying is that there are good people who live here in Founders Square who are not taken to knives and swords, and we've kept a tight ship here in Founders Square for quite some time. I'm simply asking that you don't tip the apple cart.
Right.
So tight that children slavers are able to operate.
Look, I don't know shit about Messiah Square. Founders Square is my beat. These are my people. All 237 people who live in this square, in this district. They're all my people.
I understand.
All I'm asking is that let's not have it come to knives and swords. Okay?
Right.
Sir Leland, once again, we are on the same side here. We are trying to keep the peace, and we are trying to find out what might disrupt it. So I would appreciate if you would assist us, instead of trying to stand in the way of what we are trying to do, which is the same thing.
Once again, we've crossed this bridge. I'm not going to go back over it. Keep your swords and your knives and your bows out of the street. They're good people here with children who don't need to be exposed to that level of violence. If you're going to do your investigations or whatever for whoever, just keep it on the down low. There's no need for violence here.
You will?
We'll let you know if anything needs to be done.
So
Good.
we should seek you for violence. You'll do the violence for us?
Well,
You see,
He'll take care of the problem.
You see his manner quickly turns grim once again.
Well, I mean,
Don't worry. I'll keep
It
them
should
under
not
con-
come to that.
I'll keep them under control. If anybody is under threat of violence, we will come and report it to you.
He and the fellow who walked in with him kind of stroll on the way, kind of like a cop would, kind of with the finger looped near the belt where the sword is, and you hear the chink, chink, chink of his spurs as he walks away.
what was the man's name again? Sir, what?
Sir Leland, which
Sir
is
Leland.
probably not correct, but it's what he gave us.
Yeah,
His friend didn't speak.
I won't be forgetting that name.
I don't remember. I forget faces.
Well,
it's more
I
important than
mean,
names.
he's just a
Big
bull
fish.
and trying to size you up, shake you down, whatever.
Like I said,
It ain't nothing we ain't worried about.
let them have their moment.
Right.
If you put up a little bluster at first, it makes them bluster up even more, and then when they're done with it, they feel really good about themselves.
Right.
As you wish, boss.
Just
You do know that I mean, she is right, though. The authority means shit.
That's true. That's very true.
But, here we go.
however, authority is a perceived thing,
It is.
right? So those that will follow them are people that we need to make sure know that we're not going against them.
Yeah, and just like, you see what she did. She didn't say her name until she had to. And there's a lot of weight behind having a last name of Marius.
Well,
Well, I didn't tell him my last name either.
No.
And it means nothing now that there's no Bellegane, but, at one point it did.
well, let's not reside on last names. Let's reside on deeds. Shall we?
Deeds, not words.
Good.
There were warning shots, not words, in the Marius family.
I didn't say it though. I was trying to use
Warning
the new.
shots, not words.
I was trying to use the new.
No.
I was
not words.
paraphrasing their words.
I think it was D's, not words, and then it would turn to warning shots,
Warning
not
shots,
words.
yeah.
When it's time to roll initiative. In the case of Cole, but that's neither here nor there.
That's Dad.
That's the Marius household phrase. That's deeds, not words. So.
Going with it.
It is literally their house motto.
It is,
Deeds,
yeah.
not words.
It was Tim, but it was not how he played that character.
No. Warning shots now. I'm gonna shoot that old man. What's he running away for in a crutch? So that being said, and a somewhat unnerving encounter with a local brigandine, you continue your conversation.
Right, so you can make a call on which lead you want to walk down.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's another pamphlet on the ground, by the way, of the 13. Since they were handing them out, I'm assuming somebody might have dropped one when they ran.
Possibly. You can head back over to Foundry Square. You'll find one with a big old boot print across it, but sure.
I don't care, I just need
Yeah.
it. Keep going.
Right. Well, at least it hasn't been a dull night.
So should we
He was rather sharp.
sleep for the night, boss, and then maybe track these two things down tomorrow?
Yeah, we may as well, because I imagine most people are turning in.
Well, when does one farm dung?
Usually in the morning. That'll probably be when they're
Sounds
busiest.
like something you would love to do in the
Well,
morning.
that's why it's called night soil collection.
You're seriously
Collective.
talking about dealing with shit at this point.
It is one of the leads they discovered. I would clarify that I think the 13 is probably more in line with where we need to go. But again, I think
People are saying that that might be the one, so we may as well look into it.
there is merit. There is merit. I would say
Right.
that. I would say that you have merit because again, maybe the boss is right.
Do we know where?
Maybe that nose that they have is going to lead us to something.
Do we know where they collect?
Outside the city.
Right.
When?
Well, in the morning.
All right. So let's go get some shut eye,
Right.
and we'll go outside the city in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we can't miss the smell.
You go to lay down that night, and you find there's a common room you could stay at
Right.
in at the Gut Bucket. It's not the best of accommodations, but at the very least, it will you'll be able to stay there for relatively cheap, a shilling per person. The Gut Bucket is pretty busy. There's actually, unlike basically the cloakroom, you can imagine is like a middle classman's place. There's a saloon that is separate from the rest of the sleeping quarters.
How close is the
It's not close. It's
Okay.
like about an hour or so across the
Okay,
city.
that's what. Okay.
Yeah, Founders Square is far enough away. It's close to Messiah Square, but it's not precisely that close. You'd question whether or not they have rooms available. Because Messiah Square, remember, is like literally where all traffic comes in and out of the city. But a place like this on the kind of outskirts and on Riverside would be easy to find it. I mean, you find a place on
You would
the
have got
common room.
5 gold coins from
Okay.
the payout, so you can break that down.
But,
smaller if you want.
Nonetheless, it's clean accommodations. So all of you, I will for when you awaken that morning, before recording any peril, your eyes sting, your lungs hurt, you feel kind of a phlegmy cough building up in your chest. All of you will need to attempt to. You must succeed a routine toughness test.
Two. Oh God!
Success.
Critical failure.
Bah. What'd you get, Kay?
Noble savage, so I never suffer peril from failed toughness.
It is not peril.
Okay, well I didn't. I got it. You
Can I
said
go back in
routine,
time because I
right?
rolled an 88?
What's that? I'm sorry.
You said routine, right?
Routine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Success.
Anybody who failed? Only you? Oh, you critically failed. Ooh.
Yeah, I rolled an 88.
Ooh.
So I
Well,
should be able to go back in time.
That morning, you will suffer from a disease called Reek's Sting. When you awaken, you do not recover to unhindered. You do not recover to unhindered. Let me throw a action card for you.
Okay.
You don't recover to unhindered. Your eyes sting, so you must reduce all distances for ranged weapons by 9 to a minimum of 1. And finally, you suffer 1 corruption.
Okay.
There's this terrible hacking cough by the time you all awaken, and it's very, very early in the morning. He's kind of washing his eyes in a basin of hand water, and you can see this kind of like goopy green stuff gathered in the crevasse in the creases, almost like pink eyes like bloodshot red, both of them.
We need to get you to the doctor.
Let me take a look at that. What's going on with your eye?
I don't know, but I mean, something's in it. I just can't seem to get it out.
I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out what it is.
You have a
As
heal
I'm probably
test?
agitating it by keep rubbing it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Without I mean, you need not even roll a skill test. You know immediately that he's suffering from some sort of infection. that if you had a dose of Dwale and a bit of time, you could attempt to treat for the day.
What was the name of that?
Dwale. D-W-A-L-E.
There's
It's going to be the new Materia Medica.
Okay.
Dwale consists of a number of herbs up to and including opium.
It's
It's rendered into a drop into eye drops.
And echinacea.
you'll need some. There's a treatment for that I know of. You'll have to find an apothecary or wise woman. We'll be able to fix your eye, but for now, you're gonna be having a little trouble seeing today.
Alright. Well, lead the way then. I mean, I can see about there.
We got hear no evil, and we have see no evil.
Yeah, the next day, your tincture wears off.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't heard anything that they've said so far.
Okay, fair enough.
You're just staring around the room. Boss is out again.
What?
What?
Oh.
You need your medicine.
He takes out a tincture and he.
Can I try to treat that ear?
No, it's already.
It's already
already been treated.
He's undergoing recuperation.
You could probably
At
try
this
to
point,
heal
he's just trying to
Yeah, they all-
ignore the effects by taking tincture.
But I could try to treat his wounds if he has any.
I am still really hurt.
Okay.
What is your current damage condition track?
I am seriously wounded.
You have a bandage to spend?
I don't. Let me check.
If you don't, we can fix that.
I do not have any bandages.
So, chaos bandages it is.
I have a bandage you can have.
Okay.
You are seriously wounded, is that right?
Yep.
These are not the cleanest of conditions at all in Riverside, in fact. So it'll actually be as if you were grievously wounded. So you will need to make you'll need to make a challenging heal test.
Okay, so that's a 44% chance to succeed. And I succeeded.
Okay, go one step off the damage condition track.
Yay!
You're now moderately wounded. Roll for injury.
It goes the other way.
Go away, man.
going up and going down. Now it's the super grim and perilous system.
You wake him really early in the morning, mostly because the coughing and hacking and complaining that Harper has made, and he looks horrible. The smell lingers in the air once again. I mean, you smelled it throughout the entire night. It kind of kept you. You were all a bit restless, but the person who was most restless was you. You didn't recover anything on the feral condition track.
Slept like a lot.
Everybody else recovers too unhindered.
Nope.
Well, now I see why
Did you forget my drop?
that man was looking to see what the
That's right.
cause of this was, because, well, a few hours gave me this. I can only imagine what it's doing to the rest of the people that live here.
We need to figure out what's going on, because before long, everyone in this whole district's going to be looking like that.
You're going to be impacted by this for a number of days. That was on the card.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few things that we need to accomplish. First off, it's morning, so we need to go outside the sea. But I think I need to stop and get supplies, because that was my last tincture.
Well, we want to stop by the apothecary.
We can go back to Crawl's Den, and they can
Right.
mix you up a...
We need to go there anyway.
Shouldn't we first go for your night soil people since it's so early?
Yes, but I'm just saying what we need to do today, not necessarily that we need to go do these things now. So
this
we-
is a list. Got it.
Yeah. We need to go outside. We need to see, because they gather outside the city in the morning. We need to go and we need to see the apothecary. What else is it we need to do?
Well, I think.
Ask some more reasonable brigandine about the 13.
Reasonable.
Well,
Well,
Lieutenant Rack.
It sounds like Lieutenant Reich was
Or Amadeus.
Was pandering.
Right, so Lieutenant Reich is, he's the more reasonable sort, but...
Well, no, I think he's the one who stirred the pot.
Not necessarily. They could have just thrown his name around.
I mean...
Well, he did say that they wanted them to keep an eye on me.
Or what we could do is the man that actually paid you out and thanked you for working on things, Amadeus, would be a better contact, wouldn't he?
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a bit.
You know,
I mean, he blends in, but...
We know where he hangs out. He's always there.
Yeah.
That's where we're supposed to meet him if we need his help. So, I think this would be my idea, and you know, I could just be spitballing, but the pamphlet,
Yes.
it's got to be being printed somewhere. Right?
Is it printed or is it hand done?
It's clearly letter set. It's printed.
That's true.
So, that's no small undertaking. I think somebody would probably know if we, as long as we, you know, blend in and ask, where can we find the 13? Now, probably not myself.
So,
I am a man who's liked among the commons, but I am not of the commons.
well, I might have a few too many creases to be asking those questions.
That's my other thought. I don't know.
Well,
I'll stare right at you two.
I might see eye to eye with them now. Because we're all in the same shit.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was meaning. I mean, you don't look well, but at least you blend with everybody else who isn't feeling well.
Your outlook's a little short-sighted.
Well,
That would be my idea.
You hear sound, kind of people. You hear somebody shuffling around the common room. You all are up literally at the break of dawn. Remember, you went to bed fairly late yesterday and didn't have much time really in the streets. And you can see that there's a fellow kind of inside, and he's got the chamber pot that he's put on some sort of one-wheeled kind of wheelbarrow and pushing it out the door.
Well, there's your man.
Well, let's ask a man about a horse. Shit.
Excuse me, fella.
He continues on his business. You all haven't even dressed at this point. Your things are still kind of scattered about.
Son of
This is very the break of morning.
All right.
You know where he's going.
Well, yeah. It would be nice not have to go out to mounds of shit. That these
Can I buy
boys
myself
are
a
talking
giant
about.
cone so I don't mess with my
You
eye?
can't smell it, obviously.
That's none of your business.
Alright.
What's your drawback?
I have the split face. I
right,
can't
you
smell
can't smell
anything. I
anything,
have
that's
no
right.
smell, no taste.
That's right. Forgot about that.
Lucky you.
Yeah,
Right?
it's the first drawback I've ever won on.
So hold on. So we can't hear any evil, see any evil, or smell any evil?
or taste
Or
it.
taste any evil.
That's right.
We got this
But
covered.
we can sure poke it.
We can sure poke the shit out of it.
You hear this sound like a large chamber pot being spilled outside and rolling across the cobblestone, and you hear kind of a ruckus outside.
Look out the window if there's one.
Alright.
You poke your eye. You poke your head out the window, and you can see that there are these what would be best described as goons, who have basically they've kind of arrested the chamber pot from the gong farmer, and they spill it in the street. All the piss and urine spilling all across the cobblestone, and they shove the man backwards toward this cart that you can see this mound of night soil piled up inside of it that's buzzing with flies. And one of them takes the man, kind of grabs him with the back of the head and is kind of running him headlong across the street, then shoves his face in the shit, and the man is like struggling to breathe.
Well, then I'll go help.
So you will have the opportunity to take one thing with you. One single thing that is not your clothes on your back. If you wish to intervene.
Sure.
So let's go around the table and define what that one thing is. So We'll start first with Elisa.
My walking cane.
Okay. Yourself, Banneker?
My whip.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yourself, Terwin?
Not any weapons, because he told me not to, so I'm going to bring my armor.
Okay. What about yourself, Harper?
A flask.
Your flask, okay. And you?
I guess I'll bring in my whip.
Your whip? Okay.
I won't arm it though. I'll just have it.
Okay. You come outside and you see these 5 goons with black wiry hair, kind of almost kind of like what's that dude from Death Clock? What's his name?
Murderface.
Murderface. Like they have the hair kind of like in this
Helmet.
triangle, like a
helmet
helmet head, and it's kind of cropped at different lengths. And these men have they are speaking in what clearly are foreign accents, although they're speaking the local tongue. These people without a doubt are Pharisemi. And one of them has the face of the gong farmer. His whole head's like shoved inside the shit, and the smell is just like horrible. The smell of the night soil kind of lingering outside here, and the others are, dogs. They're kind of covering their faces with their cloth, but they're clearly assaulting this gong farmer. One of these goons turns around, and he says, "Go back to bed," he says, as he kind of points his finger and hooks it around. "Go back to bed!"
Leave that man alone.
The man who's shoving the gong farmer and literally drowning him in shit kind of grabs the fellow by the back of the hair, and he drops him to the ground, his face caked in shit. And he looks like he's breathing very shallowly, like he's probably suffocating in shit. Drops him to the ground as he falls down. Says, "Who the fuck are you?" the man calls out.
You as a see to him. One of you two go and get Sir Leland. And say, name's Terwin. Ain't got not much interest in this except not seeing that person die.
None of your business. Go back to bed.
No, it
I'll
wasn't.
knock your lights out.
It wasn't my business until I couldn't sleep because of the noise.
What are you going to do, Harper?
Well, I'm going to take a swig of my flask and go, well, you guys want a drink or you want to dance?
In the moment, what will you do, Warren?
I'll turn tail and try to find the Sir Leland.
Okay, so you try to find the Brigandine watch station.
Mhm.
Okay. In your case, Elisa?
That's what I was actually going to do as well.
Yeah.
He pointed at 2 of us.
Okay.
No, I pointed
No,
at
me.
Oh.
him. I told
He
you to
said
take
you to
care
take a
of
look
it.
You
at him.
take care of the
Oh, you
gong
told me.
farmer.
Okay, so I would take care of them.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't see who
I'm
you
gonna-
pointed at.
Oh, you're pointing.
You're,
Oh, okay.
you're the only one that knows. How to
Yeah, hell,
help
he'll
people.
know when that's
You're the
going.
only one that can do this.
That's right.
So,
And so you're wrong.
I'm going to look first. Or Leland.
I
You
tried
turn
not to say
around
that.
and you quickly beat feet, as they say.
Yes.
That one's running, one of them says. Yourself, Banneker?
Keep up with me.
Well, I'll stretch out to my full size. I'll put my whip around my shoulders.
The morning stretches.
Well, you know, gentlemen, I had a bad night. I didn't sleep well because this one was coughing all night with this reek shit you guys got over here. You boys can either move on, or, as he said, I'm going to make quick work of you, and I'm going to go back to bed.
Okay.
And I'm going to use that as a total intimidate.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the initiative tracker. I'm going to determine what their initiative is. We'll put some structure around this. They've got a 10. So these Pharisemi goons. Sorry, I wrote something down real quick. All right, so Banneker, you're literally at the top of the initiative order. Harper, I'm assuming you intend to assist.
I don't have the intimidate skill, but
Yeah, so
you're
you
just double checking now.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So you will be able to intimidate. It is going to be a challenging test for you, though, Banneker.
What social class are these people?
They are lowborn.
Well, I can use stand and deliver, and I'm going to use charm, and then I'm going to use silver tongue on top of that.
So let's clarify all the things that you're using. So,
Okay, stand and deliver allows me to sub charm for intimidate,
Yes.
and silver tongue allows me to give 20% to charm to anybody outside of my social class.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right.
So,
He's very suave when he does this. His body ripples. It's oiled up.
so I got a
He's
77.
like you're like the Aerodane Fabio. Like
Right,
they
that's
say.
what I am.
He has no shirt on. It's the morning. His nipples are like little aquarium rocks. Hey, check me out. I'm rippling, bro.
Look at my hair.
It's blowing in the wind. So yes, it'll be hard. Or sorry, challenging. My apologies.
I have a 77. I rolled a 90. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, go ahead and use
Okay,
it.
so 14 point.
Fortune squirrel.
So I'll take that as a misfortune point, please.
Yeah, I got to start bringing some snacky cakes for that again.
Yeah.
Where are the rollers?
Okay, I succeeded.
Reroll those.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look, no problems here. No problems here. We're on our way, the man says. They kind of turn around and they see her running off toward the way, and they kind of begin to back off, and they turn and they, as gangers would say, they beat feet, leaving the scene of a crime. However, you chase them off very easily. In fact, they apparently didn't want to dance; they wanted to run. So all it took was a little bit of show of force. But in your case, Warren, you realize that this man was literally drowning in night soil, and he's breathing very shallowly. You'll need to issue a kiss of life if you wish to revive him.
Okay. You give him the kiss of life.
You might want to wipe some of that off, and I'll pour some of this on there.
Now hold on, you're in the moment,
Yeah.
so there's not happening. The clock is ticking to see if you can save this man from death.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
This is serious business. No time for cracking wise.
I have a really bad pun for shit talking, but I'm not gonna go.
I'm not saying the name of this chapter was Shitty Situation, but
God.
it literally is the name of this encounter. So, to give him a kiss of life to revive him, your first test will be a trivial heal test. He reaches down and starts pumping on this man's chest and places his lips to the other and blows.
84. And that's 100.
Okay. I felt the rays down the Rovania. You critically fail. The man expires instantly. You could do nothing to save him. Warren is spitting human feces from his lips. The man is dead.
Oh shit! I guess we should have stopped them before they ran off.
Well,
Sorry, boss. When you rule out this much majestic humanity,
I don't know.
people just run.
I don't know what we would have done if we stopped them.
Faced with the guilt of not being able to save this man in the moment, all of you gain 3 corruption.
Myself included?
All of you gain 3 corruption.
Oh, that was where I needed to put the other.
Whether you're present or not means nothing. Brigandine will arrive very shortly, and there's this kind of they look aghast. And one of them says, "That's Ed Nightman."
Who?
They're pointing toward the gong farmer who's suffocated in dung. There's a few people have not quite come outside the gut bucket yet. Like, this is still a very kind of small private affair, just kind of out front. But you can see that this is kind of one-wheeled cart full of dung that's tied to a donkey or a mule. And you can see that the man is just, he's dead. He wasn't able to be revived.
They killed him.
The Brigandine man says, "It's Ed Nightman."
They killed him. Drowned him in his cart.
Yeah, we might have been able to save him sooner, but we was told we wasn't supposed to be issuing threats of violence and whatnot, so we had to try and talk him out of it. All the time he was drowning.
One of the Brigandine looks to the other Brigandine member. These are not the people you saw before.
Right.
Who's that? Ed Knightman?
And Nightman been working for, was a gong farmer for, hell, since I was a kid. You look down at the poor man who was drowned in dung, and he looks probably in his late 50s, early 60s. He's willowy. He's old. Long creases, beneath of his eyes.
Well, that's just
Poor
a shame.
fellow.
Do you had any enemies?
No, that's people thinking this reek is these boys.
You think?
To kill a man? That just ain't right.
I think it may have been an accident, but
I
they still
could.
done it.
If we wouldn't have stopped them,
I don't
they
think
still
it's
would have
an
done it
accident.
and walked away clean.
So these Ferrasimi, 3 Ferrasimi gentlemen. Do you know anybody of Ferrasimi descent that live around here?
There's Ferrasimi in this city. And
Well, the city, but these were locals.
They all wore their hair the same way, looking like mountaintops and whatnot.
we have Ferrasimi here in Riverside, but we don't. Well, you can't cover all of Riverside, the man says, kind of shaking his head.
Right, you can't protect everyone. You done did a good job by getting here as fast as you did.
Could you do us a favor?
The fellows are just give us a few moments here.
All right.
The two Brigandine soldiers will kind of step away, kind of behind, kind of within eyesight and earshot, and kind of talk to themselves. And the point toward the body of the fellows, he's kind of gesticulating, like really uncertain what to do. They look like they're kind of rudderless. They look a bit unmanned in this situation.
Maybe we should go get Sir Leland.
Yes.
Man peeks up and says, I don't think that's necessary. We need to... Who's going to tell us family? Look, one of them steps forward. What was your name again?
Me.
Yes,
Elisa.
Elisa. You said you're Dufresne, right?
Yes.
So I can confide in you.
Of course.
Yes.
Can someone please do something about this man? Does anyone have something to cover him with?
I'll walk inside the inn and see if I can procure myself a blanket or something.
Oh, easily, yeah. He'll pull a bit of rustbun off the table. You regret that the Ferrasimi have ran off, and this poor man has died. That you did what you could to chase them off, but it was not enough to save him. That guilt, of course, kind of weighs on you. That's where the 3 corruption comes from, just to clarify.
Yep.
The Brigandine man goes on to say, he says that, the gong farmers in Durendal are essentially tasked with keeping the city's thoroughfares and streets clean. They shovel offal all day. It's not necessarily a lucrative job, but at least the gong farmers in Durendal do much better than their counterparts elsewhere. He goes on to explain that they've kind of organized into a guild of sort called the Night Soil Collective.
Yes.
And because of this, they sell dried dung to the saltpeter men, which he seems to indicate as some sort of organization. And he said the saltpeter men use it to make saltpeter. But it's incredibly lucrative because dung is, he goes on to explain, dung is used in creating gunpowder. Specifically, it's used to create saltpeter, which is mishmashed with some other substance from a place called the Maw, and that's how they produce gunpowder here. And he indicates here, as in here in Riverside, here at the gunnery foundry, is what he says. He points toward the distance where you can see kind of black smoke lingering near the factories, he says. He says, but there's been this local Ferrasimi woman named some low-level street boss named Sylvia Corvino has been trying to press the Night Soil Collective out of the city, trying to take the business because they've discovered that it's very lucrative. It's kind of turned into kind of a what the Brigandine say the locals are calling the war for dung. It's been going on for the past 6 to 8 months, but it's kind of come to its head recently, and this is not the first gong farmer that they've killed. Is anyone here of a knave archetype?
I think we are.
Highwayman and knave?
I don't think provocateur is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think
Is
so.
provocateur now?
Why don't you check in the book, guys? Which
I'm a ranger.
That's
I'm a ranger.
I'm one of them ranger types.
Yeah. What are you? You're an outrider?
Nope.
What are you?
Highwayman.
Do you have a Skilrick and Skullduggery?
Highwayman's not a ranger.
I believe it.
Highwayman is a ranger.
I thought it was a knave.
Highwayman is a knave.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a knave.
Prostitute.
I'm one of them rangers.
Oh, okay, so you are a knave archetype, is that right, Banneker?
I guess so. I thought I was a...
Yeah, that's what it says
Okay.
right here. Page
I put it-
47.
Sorry, guys.
Banneker, you have spent time with Sylvia Corvino and her gang before they came here. Whether you wish to reveal this or not is entirely up to you. But in your former life, Sylvia Corvino would be a primary contact of yours.
She's a socialite.
Oh, it was provocateur.
I think
So
it's
this is a
socialite.
secret. This is secret information that only Banneker knows, and he may choose to reveal it if he wishes at any point he wants.
So you said there's a Pharisee gang? Oh,
Well-
sounds impressed.
Small but brutal, the Burgundy man goes on to say. It's come to a head. This is not, like I said, this is not the first gong farmer we've found dead in the morning. Fortunately, citizens have been bold enough to try to intervene, but a few nights ago, there was a big fight and during Penumbra, and a gong farmer, Ed Nightman's son, in fact, just had the living car beat out of him. And I got to be the one to tell him what happened to his paw.
That just ain't right.
Are they the only two that have been attacked at this point? The two Nightmen.
The who? I'm sorry. He asked. I'm
You
sorry.
said Ed Nightman?
Ed
You said
Nightman.
him and his son are the two that have been attacked. Have there been others?
Him and his son, but other of the Night Soul Collective. Others have been accosted by these fair semi-goons.
So it's not
But-
concentrated on the family, is what I was.
No.
Would you say that there is a kind of a leader amongst the Night Soil Collective?
He says, actually, yes. Their leader of sort, or their guild master, is a man named Henry Black.
Alright.
A lot of people have been making reports about the Night Soil Collective in the past day or so, believing they're the source of the reek.
Well,
You notice that these guards are actually wearing kind of scarves over their faces, so their voices are kind of slightly muffled beneath the bucket helmet. One of them's got pink eyes with goop built up in
You
it.
got the same thing I got?
You reckon it kind of begins to kind of put two and two together as you realize that a lot of people you passed by yesterday were sick too. It's not an isolated case.
Is this happening? This working? No.
He rubs his eyes.
Don't do that.
The reek is caused a lot of us to get sick, he says.
Alright.
Some people are blaming the Night Soil Collective, but I'm not one to go wander around there and asking questions. I mean, they've got a lot of pull, in this, at least here in Riverside.
It doesn't make much sense. They've been around for a long time. Why would it just now be happening in the reek?
Well, that's
Seems
what
a funny way to point a finger.
Well,
I know
fair.
they stink, but you know.
it's a service that the city needs, and the city would be a lot worse if they didn't do it. That's what
Well,
people
if it wouldn't
really
have
need to
been
know.
for that damn war in the north, I mean, we wouldn't be having to produce so much gunpowder out of the city. But the Baroness has ordered it so, and in that place, the Night Soil Collective has become fairly rich. They're the only They are the single host who takes to keeping the night soil and the piss bins out of the streets in the morning. That's what they do, and then they sell it to the saltpeter men, and that's how they make that's how they get their get.
Huh.
Do you know anything of the 13?
You will pause for a moment.
Look, if we're talking about issues going on here, I feel like we should air it all. did say we were from the Dufresne.
That's a bit above my pay grade, the man kind of admits as he raises his hands.
What's your pay grade? To know something.
You can talk to Sir Leland if you want. One man kind of admits.
Right.
So it's Leland's case.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well, what can we do to help you with this man?
We'll get a hold of a body taker, I suppose. Admittedly,
Can we
the
take
man
this?
he kind of confides, like, people here in Riverside don't really have long lives. I mean, a lot of folk here live in pretty bad conditions among the foundries. It's every other day we seem to hear about somebody blowing their hand off in one of the gunnery foundry, or something else happening up in the Gelman and Zox foundry. It's just people live here a rough life ever since the war, and the demand for gunpowder from the king has only increased more and more and more. There's been accidents, explosions. Can't keep up with it all, he says.
Well,
This won't be the first body. What I'm saying is it won't be the first body that'll be toted away today, I'm sure. It's just unfortunate that it's due to this turf war, it's war for dung, if you will.
Well, we're supposed to go out there to the mounds. Do you want us to take this man's cart out there? I mean, we're not going to take the money. We'll make sure it gets to the sun. I mean, lawman to lawman. It's up to you. We can help you, or we can walk back in, put our gear on, and we can walk away.
They kind of look toward one another, kind of uncertain what to do.
Well, boss, what do you think? I'll kind of put it on. I'll put it on his shoulders.
I'd like to help these people out if we can. Just my 2 cents. Do whatever we can for poor folk.
Chief Finnick.
I'm going that way. You know.
It ain't no thing to me. Warren wipes his mouth off.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is the least we could do.
The least we could do is put on our gear and walk away.
I don't
Well, then
think
that'd
so.
be doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That would. Okay.
Right.
You take Ed Nightman out there too, so we don't have to call the body takers.
Yeah. Well, the
Well,
boss.
He's got kin.
Would they be around there?
Are they
said
gonna?
his son was.
I mean, I don't necessarily
horribly
want to
beaten. I
be
don't think
carting
he'd be
around a
working,
body.
I'm sure he's convalescent back at the outskirts of town.
I'm sure we don't want. I mean, we've got the cart, but it's full, and we don't want to put him in there because that would be disrespectful. No.
We could wrap him up. I could put him on Matthew. We could walk Matthew there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where's this house? The Nightman residence.
Mansoy Collective's outside the town, not far from here in Riverside.
No, Ed's family. Where's the home?
Somewhere outside the city.
Now,
Can't say I rightfully know where his home is.
wait a minute.
We can get directions when we get to the mound.
One thing I'm thinking of.
Right.
If we do this, is there any room that they may not believe us?
Right. Would you two mind be kind enough to come with us?
At
Well,
least
it
That
wouldn't
way you can
make,
at least corroborate our story.
wouldn't make much sense to kill a man, deliver him back with his livelihood, would it?
no.
It does seem awfully queer.
But what I'm afraid of is
Thinking the same thing.
assigning blame. Ever since I've come in this city, every time I've done something good, it's always come back on me.
You know.
To
That's
be fair, you've only been here for 3 nights.
Maybe. Maybe it would be
There's
best.
been a lot going on over 3 nights.
Maybe it would be best if these brigandine here, if you made sure that no one else has been accosted this night. I assume there's more than 3 of these people in this
Yeah.
group, right?
Nobody really knows the numbers.
I
But I
wasn't
would assume
meaning.
more than 3.
I wasn't meaning to tie them up. I was just making sure we was prepared, the 5 of us, to deal with negative consequences, because no good deed goes unpunished here.
That does
Well,
seem like
that's the
that.
way it is. Let's just take it as we do.
Are you
I-
intending to take this to the fair semi?
No.
No.
Not at the right.
No, we'll take it to Blackman. And that what you said that.
Sir Leland, he made it quite clear to us that we was not supposed to be doing any violence of any sort.
Oh, good. You could have not.
And so we probably shouldn't be going to the fair semi because, well,
That is more up to you.
they may want to do something to us, and we might be inclined to defend ourselves. And that would be going against what Sir Leland wanted.
He nods.
Besides, you all run a tight ship, and nothing bad goes on here, and so, yeah.
Well, you all be doing a favor to Ed's son if you take him out there.
We'll do it.
Yes.
We'll do it. I think the
will.
boss has agreed to
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
so
yeah.
at
The man
least-
says it's better to call it the body taker. It's two pennies, and it'll just get tossed in with the ossuary. Fellow says.
Oh, then we will definitely take him. Yeah.
Right. Well, but go back inside. There's nothing to see here. The other 2 brigandine kind of come toward they come into the gut bucket to try to crowd control as you all stand over this poor man who has been suffocated in his own work. This old fellow of some number of years, and his buzzing cart full of dung pulled by a stubborn old mule as day breaks over the morning. Losing sight at the fair semi some number of minutes ago, you prepare yourselves to go to visit the Night Soil Collective, and we will stop here for the night.
Okay.
So, 100 reward points, everybody.
Yay! Corruption.
Corrupt.
So, before we go to corruption, let's talk about kind of in broad strokes, kind of what we learned tonight. So we have identified a few organizations already. You know, there's Brigandine in the city.
There's the fair semi, and even though most of the other people around the table don't know it, there's that gang that has the leader that you know, that are trying to...
Corvina?
Yeah, that are trying...
Sylvia Corvino.
Sylvia Corvina, they're trying to push out the Night Soil Collective so that they can take over the business, because it's apparently pretty lucrative here because of unionization or guildization.
They have a monopoly on poop.
I like that.
Let's see.
Who needs the dung?
Saltpeterman.
Yeah.
What were the 2 foundry names? That's what I didn't get. Those.
Ah, yes. Geldman and Zox Foundry. And the second one was the Gunnery Foundry. So 2 locations have opened up on the map.
Ooh.
What?
What was the second one?
The gunnery.
And what do we know what Gelderman and Zox makes?
Never been in Durandal.
Nope. I'm pretty sure we know what the gunnery makes. He said that too. So.
Quite obviously.
Yeah.
They make the
Who else? Who are the other organizations you found out about?
Night Soul Collective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's run by Henry Black. That's the guild boss.
And the 13.
And there's the 13 and the Fair Semi gang.
So a lot going on in Riverside in Durandal, and this is where the story will begin to branch out. So we talked about the idea of the sandbox-driven adventure. Now that kind of the foundation is set, you can kind of follow your own leads as you wish and will, which will lead to different forks in the story. Some of them are pre-written, some of them are not. This chapter is particularly open-ended in some cases, and the choices that you will make will essentially shape what goes into the published version of Queen of Embers.
Nice.
So,
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's all right. So now let's do corruption. If my roll on my D10 is equal to or lesser than the corruption gain, you increase your chaos rate by 1 step.
On the bright side, if it turns out shitty, it's not our fault.
That's right. What's your corruption? What's your corruption value tonight?
4.
4. Nick?
3.
Okay.
3.
4.
4.
Oh, 3 for the.
I rolled a 7.
Oh.
Look at all that order.
So much order.
Order's growing. Do you want tape for your order?
No.
I guess it doesn't make sense because it's easy to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that wraps up session 7 and 8 of Queen of Embers for tonight. I'm your Game Master Daniel Fox. We will see you all legitimately for real on our Patreon podcast next week.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Appreciate
Bye,
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.